Welcome to the Security Playbook Education Series, Program Maturity. This multi-part series will look at the program maturity model for the physical security environment. We hope you gain some insight on how to better your program. Subscribe and follow for the rest of the series and more content from the Security Playbook. Your cameras can be working. Your officers can be experienced. Your team can be processing more incident reports because reporting has improved. And your physical security program can still be fragile. That is because activity is not the same as maturity. A mature program does more than respond when something happens. It produces consistent decisions across sites and shifts. It preserves capability when experienced people leave. It gives leadership evidence, not reassurance. And it improves because the organization has a system for learning, not because one determined manager keeps pushing. The Security Playbook's Physical Security Program Maturity Level Framework, PML framework, is designed to examine that operating system. It does not tell you that the building is safe. It does not certify compliance. It does not prove that every control is effective. It evaluates how developed, repeatable, measurable, and sustainable the management system behind physical security has become. That distinction matters because a strong individual can temporarily compensate for a weak program. Imagine a control room supervisor who knows every escalation contact from memory. She knows which loading dock camera fails in heavy rain. She knows which facility manager answers after midnight. She knows which incidents require an immediate executive call, even though the written procedure does not say so. When she is present, the operation looks capable. When she is absent, the capability disappears. In this example, the program did not own the knowledge. The individual did. That is a central question behind maturity. What happens when the experienced person is not there? Security Playbook organizes the answers into 5 levels. Level 1 is the initial and reactive. In this level, work is driven by incidents, immediate demands, and the individual judgment. Roles may be unclear, procedures may be verbal or outdated, technology is often maintained only after it fails. The operation can be very busy, but its outcomes are difficult to predict. Level 2 is repeatable and siloed. Some practices now repeat. One site may have reliable post orders, one supervisor may conduct usual briefings, one department can track corrective actions, but the same practice is not yet consistent across the whole program. Level 3 is defined and standardized. The expected method is documented, taught, and applied across comparable operations. Roles are clearer. Procedures are controlled. Training connects to job performance. Technology has standards and ownership. The Security Operations Center follows defined workflows rather than relying on operator memory. Documents alone do not establish Level 3. Execution must be verified through observation, records, exercises, and audits. Level 4 is managed and quantified. The organization measures performance and uses the results to make decisions. It does not simply count incidents, alarms, or patrols. It evaluates trends, thresholds, exceptions, system availability, response performance, training proficiency, and corrective action closure. Level 5 is optimized and automated. Stable processes are improved through feedback testing and carefully governed automation. Repetitive friction is removed where it makes operational sense. Human oversight remains in place for consequential decisions. The program adapts without confusing new technology with better management. In short, person-dependent, repeatable in pockets, standardized, measured and managed, then optimized through controlled improvement and proportion automation. These levels are not a race towards the highest possible number. An administrative office with lower assessed risk and less complex operational requirements may not need the same automation, redundancy, or operating tempo as a hospital, distribution center, research facility, or global operations center. The target is the next defensible capability appropriate to the risk and mission. This model then examines maturity across 7 program areas. First is leadership. Who owns physical security outcomes? Who has the authority to make decisions? How are priorities, risk treatment decision, formal risk acceptance by the authorized risk owner, funding, and executive reporting handled? Second is policy and procedure. Are policies, standard operating procedures, post orders, emergency guides, and escalation protocols current, controlled, accessible, and under pressure? Third is people and training. Do staffing, onboarding, supervision, drills, competencies, and leadership development match the operating environment? Is attendance being counted, or can personnel actually demonstrate the required task? Fourth is physical security technology. Are access control, video surveillance, alarms, communication, visitor systems, keys, and related physical security systems selected, maintained, tested, and governed as operational capabilities rather than isolated purchases? Fifth is operations. How consistently does the organization detect, classify, dispatch, escalate, communicate, document, recover, and hand off physical security incidents? Sixth is continuous improvement. Are audits, after action reviews, corrective actions, lessons learned, reassessments, and performance trends producing real change? Seventh is a bonus. It is the SOC. Security operations. Does SOC have a clear responsibilities, resilient communications, trained operators, defined workflows, reliable handoffs, useful situational awareness, and the authority to coordinate action? Security Playbook has chosen these 7 core areas to be core of the program. Not all areas may be present in your organization, and that's okay. Maturity is rarely even. Individual capabilities are rated first. Their evidence informs each program area rating. Any overall score is only a descriptive summary, not a risk score or assurance rating. An organization may have level 4 physical security technology and level 2 procedures. They may have a standard incident process but weak leadership authority. Its primary SOC may be well managed while remote sites still rely on informal cultures. An average score can summarize the program but can also conceal a high consequence weakness. If emergency escalation is unreliable, a strong average does not make the weakness acceptable. That is why defensible rating needs evidence. Consider visitor management. Before the answer appears, mark your own rating. If one facility uses a sign-in sheet, another issues temporary badges, and neither site regularly reviews exceptions, which level is most defensible? What evidence would you request before confirming it? The most defensive answer is level 2. Practice repeats, but execution remains siloed. Now compare the broader pattern. At level 1, a receptionist may decide what to do based on memory and familiarity. At level 3, the organization has a defined visitor standard, trained personnel, documented exceptions, controlled batch issuance, and consistent application across comparable sites. At level 5, stable parts of the process may be automated, such as credential expiration or host notification, while exceptions and high consequence decisions remain human review. Now ask the evidence question. Does the procedure exist? Is it current? Can personnel explain and demonstrate it? Do records show that it is followed? Are exceptions reviewed? When a problem is found, is a corrective action assigned, completed, and validated? Score without evidence is an opinion. Evidence can include a charter, an approved procedure, a post order, training record, drill observation, maintenance history, corrective action finding, or management decision tied to a metric. The goal is not to produce paperwork for its own sake. The goal is to show that the organization can perform required capability consistently and sustain it over time. That also means maturity can move backward. A level 4 program can regress after leadership turnover. Procedures become stale, training can decay, preventative maintenance can be deferred. Dashboards can continue collecting numbers after managers stop using them. A mature-looking system can quietly become person-dependent again. Maturity must be maintained. So where should a security leader begin? Begin with a high-level scan across all 7 areas so a convenient project does not distract from a high-consequence weakness. Then select one consequential capability for deeper evidence review. Gather evidence from documents, records, interviews, etc. Rate the organization can demonstrate today, not what a policy says should happen. Identify the next defensible level, assign an owner, define the evidence of completion, and choose a measure that will support an actual decision. Then, reassess. That cycle turns maturity from a score into a management practice. Across each of these 7 areas, where does success still depend on memory, improvisation, or one experienced person? What capability would disappear if the person who knows it the best did not come to work tomorrow? Next, SiloedLevel